And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Today, I'm reviewing the game Bloodborne. Not in this video, I've already reviewed Bloodborne in a separate video. So if you want to see how Bloodborne, the board game, works, you can check it out. There's a ton of stuff that comes with Bloodborne. In this particular video, I'm just showing you all the small expansions. The Murgo's Loft, Biggenworth, Yargol Unseen Village, Upper Cathedral Ward, Hunter's Dream, and the Hunter Dream extras. Most of these are just more stuff for the base game. And there's 4 bigger expansions I'll be talking about in another video. But this is just an idea to show you what the extra stuff is out there. If for some reason you want to pick or choose, this just kind of gives you an idea of what's in each one. That's it. There's more than enough Bloodborne stuff to last you for probably a decade playing through it. Well, here's half of it. Let's take a look. All right, first we have Murgo's Loft here. So each of these small expansions comes with one big tile. So we have Murgo's Loft and the Wet Nurse's Luminarium. Speaking of the Wet Nurse, what a vicious... that baby's not going to grow up to have a great day. You also have Murgo's Chief Attendant, although there's 4 Chief Attendants, not sure. And then these are some of the smallest miniatures in the game, the Murgo's Attendants. So little tiny miniatures here. So here's a quick look at what they can do. This one has Gang Up and Shove. This one, Guillotine Slam. But they have the ability to summon attendants, so there's that. And on the back here they have Iron Skin and Beckon to draw people in. So that's kind of cool in there. And then another whole deck. These little phase cards, I'm actually not sure what they're for. And then again, the big final enemy is Murgo's Wet Nurse and stuff. So that's what is in Murgo's Loft. Do you like Eldridge and Arkham stuff? Well, this set here, Biggenworth and Spiders. Yes, well, first we have the Moonside Lake and Biggenworth here. Some more phase cards. Still not sure how the different enemies attack and stuff. I don't know if that should be like stuff you don't want spoiled. Here's the big, very nasty giant spider. I mean, it doesn't look... I think this one would be worse painted, actually. Like right now, I'm like, oh, there's some cute crystals on its back. Or are those more spiders? Ah! Speaking of spiders, these things are just terrifying. They're children of Ram. And just if you're afraid of spiders at all, this might not be your best expansion. They don't also give a blood echo when you kill them. Boo to them. And they block your attacks. They're not hard to kill. I mean, they are hard to kill. They're not like deadly. They're just getting away. And Scholars and Garden of Eyes. I like how there's Garden of Eyes and then there's Scholars. But the Scholars, I think these guys seem to be uber creepy there. Another thing that's interesting in this set is Madness cards, where you'll draw some Madness cards and do things, Surging Madness, Unsettling Calm. So I'm sure that these will be added in one of the rules for this game. So this comes with 3 enemies as opposed to the last one, which only had 2. So I guess if you want more variety, this might be a better set. Unless you hate spiders. Now we have Yargol Unseen Village. This is about nightmares. Yee! There's the tile. On the other side, a plaza. Whenever you see a big plaza like this in a video game, no thanks. Here's the One Reborn, which is essentially a bunch of giants. It's a giant pile of skeletons with a skeleton head butt. I'm not sure what's going on here. This also comes with some little chapter cards, and then the Unseen Village is the deck here. We have some, these are minor. I picked these up. I almost feel like it's gonna. These are a little freaky. Cramped Casket. This is just a pile of skulls with some arms. Man, I would run so fast from this thing. And then I love these, the kidnappers. Like, they're carrying a bag around. Like, are they going to kidnap you? There's nothing on their special ability that has anything to do with kidnapping. I guess maybe they've kidnapped somebody else and you need to take them out. You're going to run into these a lot in this scenario for sure. I looked at the cards. They're in each of the chapters. So that's cool. This might be one that I put into the base game for new players because it looks like it's the easiest one to add. Now we have the Upper Cathedral Ward. Stay down in the lower areas. And this has the Elbrida's Daughters of the Cosmos. Looks like she's related in some ways to Cthulhu. This is a very big model with kind of, they're not fragile wings, but they're big. Whatever. Very gross looking. I mean, especially, let me look at the art. Ooh. Then we got the Orphanage. No one likes orphans when it comes to horror things. And Altar of Despair. And you got some small creatures here. We got the Brain Sucker. That's a pleasant guy here. He has this thing here, which I'm assuming he's going to suck your brain out. And then we also have these mushroom-looking dudes, the Celestial Emissaries. They're evil things that escape from Super Mario, I suppose. Some of these guys you can't dodge. Like this, the Cosmic Blast can't be dodged. And on the Brain Sucker, their next attack can't be dodged. That's kind of a pain in the neck. Look at this. Grab and drain. So, and then we got the Altar Despair. And so the thing here is called Celestial Truths. Truth, kill all these monsters. This expansion's different than the other ones I showed you, Hunter's Dream. And that's because, well, this one adds another chapter. This one adds a chapter, not a whole mission. It is just the hunt's end. So if you thought 3 chapters isn't long enough and you're like, let's play another one, you play this after the 3rd chapter of another scenario. Good luck. But that's not all that's involved in this one. I mean, we got some new bosses, this Moon Presence. Such a delightful world. And German, the first hunter. But you'll notice there's a ton of other stuff here. These are mini bosses. So you can add these to your game, just in case you thought the game wasn't hard enough. By the way, here's the workshop in a beautiful garden. So you have this mini boss spawn deck. And you're just going to go through and randomly pick some mini bosses, however many you want to play. The rules are like, you probably shouldn't play with more than 2. And I'm thinking, are you kidding? But anyhow, then you'll take a pile of these none cards, and you have a pile of cards. You take however many mini bosses you picked, plus none cards equal to the number of tiles. Then whenever you shuffle that deck, whenever you go to a new tile, you draw it, none, yay. Otherwise, boom, mini boss comes. So the mini bosses are like normal enemies, except, what? Okay, so they have basic specials, etc. But when you kill it, you get an extra reward. So you get an extra reward for killing them. They also don't respawn or anything, but they do completely heal when everything else respawns. So we have the Winter Lantern. We have these Executioners, which seem very, I mean, they're actually kind of cool miniatures here. And then it looks like dark versions of many of the different hunters in the game. So the Rifle Spear Hunter, the Chickage Hunter. Here's the Threaded Cane Hunter. This is one of the characters I use from the base game. So they kind of have very similar feels to them. But also when you get them, you might get, for example, here the Cannon Firearm, which this game provides for you to get. Sometimes it's in the base game what you're going to get. So if you thought Bloodborne wasn't hard enough, this is the expansion you want. And then finally, there's this Hunter Dream Extras. This is just more stuff. These are more of the Hunter's Dream mini bosses. So again, I don't know that you're ever going to run into the fact that you're going to play with all these. There's so many mini bosses, and you're only supposed to put 2 in a thing. But hey, if you want to play against different mini bosses all the time, this looks like it's of every single hunter that's available. You have the evil, dark versions of them. If you like that mirror universe stuff. So the main one here is that's different. Like I said, is Hunter's Dream. That's the one that's very different because it adds in those mini bosses. Although, my word, I thought the game, while not unbelievably difficult, was very difficult. That would make it unbelievably difficult. The rest, though, is like, hey, do you want to fight spiders? Do you want to fight a thing that looks like Cthulhu? Do you want to fight a pile of bones? That's kind of where you're at with these. But each one of these is very plug and play. I'm going to try to stick at least 1 or 2 of them in the base box, so that you have more variety when you're picking, random creatures and stuff. But I have yet to see how many can fit. But I'm just a guesstimation after opening all this stuff. I think I'll be able to fit 2 in fairly easily, except not maybe the Upper Cathedral Ward, just because that creature's wings are so big, so you need a fatter box for that one. Anyway, check out Bloodborne if you don't want to know what we're even talking about, my review of that. And in my other video, I'm going to be talking about the larger box expansions. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time.